And how did you get that position? How did you learn about it and sign up for it?
Just through the law school, it was a judicial internship. Fortunately, when I was back in law school, this was back in '07 or '08, I
Hmm.
think, um, there really wasn't much competition for that.
Yeah.
There was like one other law student that cared at all about immigration, and that was just, kind of. And so I didn't have to really compete with anybody. And so I may have had one of the only two or three resumes that they even saw. So that helped, I'm sure.
And
To
the human drama of it didn't scare you off. You still wanted to stay in there in immigration. I mean, you're handling it for the last 10 years, so you're
Yeah,
definitely into
yeah,
it.
I did. It definitely helped solidify it. I saw things that were challenging and things that I thought or hoped that maybe I could do better than I was seeing other people doing, and a lot of great attorneys also that I was able to see the quality of work that they submitted and try to really follow that example.
How difficult was it for you? And I was focusing a lot as law students. We have a lot of law student listeners. How difficult was it just jumping into immigration law with no background, I assume? And then how complicated did it seem? Did it seem easier than it was at first? And then once you dive into it, it got more complicated? Or from the beginning, was it like you could tell there's a lot of different things going on?
So it helped a lot. So specifically to any law students listening, um, get involved in whatever you can with your law school while you can. I mean, a lot of people focus on the GPA and other things,
Hmm.
but I found I've got far more benefit from the clinics I was involved in and the contacts I made through attorneys that way, and then any other class that I took, even more so than the immigration law class that I took. And so I was able to, through working through the clinics, once or twice a month, interning at the court, and then also just taking a part-time job for an immigration lawyer that I
Hmm.
met through doing all these things. It was a smoother transition than it would have been. I mean, even still, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. I talk to people who've done it 20, 30 years, and they're still having to look up cases. You still see a client will come in and you're like, man, I've never seen
Yeah.
that issue before.
It's so crazy how it's
So,
so
yeah.
many new stuff just pop up that you don't expect.
Yeah, I mean, you get on these, if you join like Ayla or these other things, and you have emails coming in every day, sometimes multiple times a day, like, new case law here or there and new policies and things. It's not something where you can just, spend your first year of practice making your templates, and then for the rest, the next 30 years, you're just swapping the names out. You have to stay on top of it because the law is changing so frequently.
How did you find that first job with the solo attorney when you first started?
So it was through, so it started through my work with the law school clinics, and I made a lot of contacts with lawyers there. And through that, there was an immigration attorney that just sent out my information on the AILA listserv to seeing
Hmm.
if anyone
Oh,
had
wow.
use for a clerk. And so that's what
That's
got me
nice.
the interview. I got a couple of interviews. One offered to have me work for free, and the other one said she would pay me. So I went with the one that
That works.
paid.